Hello everybody and welcome to my first art tutorial as promised. I think if you're having to self-isolate, I know it's not a really sad, scary thing to do, but I think if you're going to be at home for a long time, I think art can be a great thing to do. Whether you think you have a skill or not, whether you do art or not, or belong to an art class or not, it doesn't matter. I think everybody can enjoy it. It's more about the ability, it's not so much about the ability to draw, it's more about the ability to see. So in my classes, I teach people how to look at things differently and how to see the world differently. And when you're a slight adjustment of perception, you'll find that your drawing skills kind of improve automatically. So what you will need for this is a pencil, just a basic HB pencil is fine, a rubber. I've ripped this one in half. Not because I'm a vandal, well I am a bit, but because I'll show you in a minute that a broken rubber can be really good for shading and for digging out pencil with. I'll show you that in a minute. And I think just to start with, I would just recommend doing a really simple still life. And at the moment I've just got a banana and an avocado. It's a bit of a strange combination. I don't know, I should have bought an apple, but it doesn't really matter. And something dark, something light, fairly simple, like a pineapple would be really hard, so don't do anything too complicated. Maybe a simple white bowl. Just put it on a sheet of plain paper so it's not all too messy underneath, and just a sheet of paper, A4 or A3, and that's basically it. And then basically what I want you to do is just draw what you see. Okay, so the first thing that I normally teach people to do is just to mess up their paper. Just very lightly, just put a few squiggles, a few, bits of pencil from your hand. Just make it a bit messy, because there's nothing scarier than a white sheet of paper. You think, oh no, I can't make a mistake, I can't make a mistake. And then people get very stressed out and they rub out and they rub out. It's gonna get messy, you're gonna make mistakes. And that's absolutely fine. All artists, whether you're Michelangelo or Jason Rose, you're always going to make mistakes, and it's all part of the process, so it's fine. So just mess it up to begin with, and then just really, what I want you to do is look at, that's a banana, and it's an avocado, but also it's just, you can look at it as a series of shapes, just abstract shapes, dark, light, negative space. So what I want you to do is try and look, whatever it is you're drawing, just try and forget. Imagine you come from another planet. I know some people think that I do, but you just try and look at it as if you come from Venus, or a planet where you haven't seen a banana or an avocado or anything. The thing that you were drawing, imagine you've never seen it before, so you have no point of reference in your head, and just basically just draw what you see. Start off, try and hold the pencil fairly low down. Start off fairly sketchy. Don't go too teeny-weeny. And just, you're going to get a few lines at once. Don't try and just draw one line and hope for the best. Just try and start off with one area and just start with the outline. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start off with a little corner. I often imagine, like it's a black and white film, the end of the old black and white films where it went to a little small dot. You can just try and train your eyes just to look at a small area. So I'm focusing on just this section of the banana at the moment. And there's just a shape that comes down here, like this. I like to shade as I go along. So just put a little bit of shading in there. Use your finger to shade with as well. And I'm looking at the shapes of the banana. And it's kind of basically split into two kind of halves like this. Also, you have what is called negative space. So negative space are the shapes between things. So this banana basically is covering up the bowl, and as it's covering up the bowl, you're getting these like this. I hope you can see this. Actually, I haven't checked this out. I hope so. You're getting a shape like that. So I want you to train your eyes to look and not just the things that you're normally used to looking at, the object, the banana or the avocado, or a slightly less strange combination of fruit and vegetables. I want you just to train your eyes to look at like the negative space shapes, like here, just above the plate and below the banana. Or or this bit here, the bit of plate that is left when that is not covered up by the banana or the avocado, and your temptation will be to try and draw it in really as quickly as possible, satisfying that your brain's need for it to look like what it's supposed to look like. When you build things up slowly, piece by piece, things don't always look like what they're supposed to look like at first, and it can be quite disconcerting because your brain wants it to look kind of realistic. But don't worry, just draw what you see. Try and focus on small bits. Keep it messy. Use your fingers. Use your rubbers to kind of dig out. You'll be, after a while, you'll be sculpting rather than actually drawing. Look for things like contrast. So, for example, the top of the banana here is slightly darker than this little bit of plate behind it. So I've just made that darker than that. I could even get my little bit of broken rubber and just dig out some of that light. So I'm trying to make the top of the banana lighter than the plate behind it. And I'm just going to bring it around now. I'm going to bring this banana around. I'm not going to draw the banana in isolation of the avocado because they're both kind of inexorably, I love that word, inexorable, it's brilliant. Makes me sound so intelligent. They're inexorably connected. And as you can see, they're connected in as much as one is creating a contrast with the other. So this really dark bit of the avocado is making this bit of the banana look really nice and light. Yeah, this bit of the banana is actually darker than the background. So you're going to be looking for contrasts. You're going to be looking for negative space shapes. You're going to be looking for contrasts. You're going to be looking for shapes, all these different things. So yes, it's a banana, it's an avocado, but also it's a whole load of just different shapes. So I'm going to I wouldn't normally go quite as fast as this. I have no idea how long I've got on Facebook with videos. I might have to stop and start this. What I'm going to do is just shade over the whole of the avocado. Try and get your still life next to the window or next to some light, so you've got a really nice light source. Use your finger, really just get stuck into it like this. Shade over the whole thing, even things that are really light, just shade over the whole thing, and then you can really dig out the light bits with the rubber. I'm going to speed up a little bit because otherwise I'm worried it might get a bit boring. I'm going to really, now bananas, also you think of the texture, so bananas are really smooth, whereas avocados are kind of pitted and a bit bobbly. That's the technical expression, bobbly. So I am shading cross-hatching, but what I'm going to do is I'm going really dark here, but then with the rubber I'm going to do this kind of thing, impressionistic detail. Now I could spend ages sitting here drawing every single little bit of that avocado, and it just won't look great, and I'll get really bored. So try and cut corners. If something is hairy, like a lot of things in mine and Alex's fridge seem to go very hairy after a while. You can draw hair like this rather than drawing every single piece of hair. So I'm trying to kind of get this, this kind of light, this pitted kind of light by dabbing it with the edge of this rubber, and then just coming in a little bit with a pencil. There's always a simplistic way of getting detail. Whether you're using pencil or paint, there's always a way to cut corners. That's Impressionism, basically. Impressionism is basically for lazy people like me who can't be bothered to actually really just draw every single little thing. But it's not really being lazy. It just creates the effect rather than every single piece of detail. Right, let's just bring this plate around a little bit like this. The banana just goes over the avocado a little bit, which really gives me a nice, let's make that a little bit. Remember, you're going to make loads of mistakes. It's absolutely, see, that was a little bit too small. So I just made it a bit bigger. It's fine to make mistakes. It would be really weird if you did something and there were no mistakes. So I'm going to make that really dark here by pressing harder with my wrist, like that. Right, let's just get the end of this banana, and I'm really going to make this banana really dark, where the banana, so really look for these contrasts. Contrasts are just great, and really smudge that in like that. So you can see the banana is standing out, not so much because I'm shading the banana, but because I'm shading what's behind the banana, which is that dark shadow. And the idea is that the more contrast and shading you put in, the more the outlines should disappear. Because obviously in life, things don't actually have outlines. Things just have shading and contrast. So this banana is starting off with an outline, but what I'm going to do is really shade it dark because it's very dark behind the banana, and that outline should disappear. Whereas the avocado is darker than the background. So I'm going to shade the avocado dark within the avocado. So either way, outline should slowly disappear either by shading outside the object or within the object. Either of those two ways, really, basically. Everything in the world, basically, is either internal contrast or external contrast. And here we go, and just finish this bit here like this. Like that. Just, it's a very smooth plate. I'm going to try not to pick a plate that's got a lot of detail or patterns, because that's really hard as well. I'm really kind of going like this. So it's really dark here. I really hope it's still recording. I have no idea actually. And then you can just keep working. And then once you get the whole thing, you can, there's a mistake here. You can kind of keep going into it and just keep maybe looking for more and more detail. Try and really look for, sometimes you can squint. If you squint at something, you can kind of see the contrasts a little bit more. And I can see that this bit is really dark, like this here. And then there's actually a second kind of edge to the banana. And I think the light is changing as I've been working actually. This is the difficulty sometimes of working with real life rather than with photographs. Photographs don't change, but real life does. Here, and then I'm just going to use my rubber to get some of these really nice contrasts, a little bit more here. You just keep going with it until you're kind of happy with it. Suddenly there's a really nice little bit of contrast there, a little bit of light there, I mean, like that. This is all kind of a bit dark and a bit funny at the end here. And basically, okay, that little bit more here. I might even just get a little bit of contrast behind the bowl, just to bring the bowl out. Okay, so, and then I could kind of go right into that and do these little spots on the banana and put some of that detail in, but I'm not going to do that. So basically, this is what I want you to do. I want you to just set up a very simple still life and have a go at drawing it. Don't judge it as you go along. Don't think, oh no, I knew I was a bad artist. And everybody thinks they're a bad artist when they first start, but just try and do it without judging yourself. Try and look at things as if you've never seen them before. Really just try and look at the shading, contrast, texture, negative space, all the different kind of shapes, a bit like a jigsaw puzzle basically. And yes, and enjoy it, and you will get absorbed in it. I guarantee you'll get absorbed in it. And you can post anything that you do, just post it on, I don't know, my Facebook site, or I don't know, just or send it to me. It'd be lovely to see if anybody does anything. And brilliant. Okay, and enjoy. Okay, bye. Oh, and stay well.